Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. A lot has happened since my last video. I have become a mom, and I actually thought that I already would have done this video by now, but I am an optimist, and it's been even worse now that I'm a mother. So you really have to plan your days. Otherwise you only end up breastfeeding and changing diapers. So you should think about that. um, and in this video I thought I would talk about my birth story and the first couple of days with a newborn. So it all started with me passing my due date with 5 days. And that night I had these grinding pains all night, so I didn't really get much sleep at all. And around 6 a.m. I got another type of pain that came in intervals. So I checked my app that I downloaded a few days before, that is supposed to clock these contractions and then tell you if you need to go to the hospital. So I did that, and it turned out that my contractions lasted for about or my contractions, they were about 4 times. They came for about 4 times every 10 minutes and lasted about 50 seconds. So the app told me that I should call the hospital. So my adrenaline went up a little, and I woke my husband up and told him to get ready. And then we called the hospital together. And the nurse told us that we should stay calm and then wait for the contractions to last for at least 1 minute, and that they should be a bit more intense. And in the meantime we should eat a nice big breakfast, and I should take a shower. A nice warm shower. So I would be a little bit more relaxed, and yeah, maybe the pain won't be so bad. And this breakfast, it was a nice breakfast. We ate smoothies and had 2 eggs. I really like this breakfast. But at this moment, my pains were, they weren't so bad, but they made me a bit nauseous, so it was kind of hard getting down. But I knew that I really needed this breakfast. So I pulled through. And when I was supposed to take my shower, I told my husband to wait outside because or look at me while taking the shower, because I was a bit afraid that I would fall or something. So I wanted him close. And around 9 a.m. We called back to the hospital, and they told us that we could come in. When we arrived at the parking lot on the hospital, I had about 5 contractions during our walk to the right section in the hospital. And I had imagined that I would be, that my husband would be pushing me in a wheelchair to the section. But that wasn't going to happen. We didn't find any wheelchair, and so I had to walk all the way. So that was a bit disappointing. And when we arrived to this section, my husband had to wait outside before because he didn't get to come in with me before we knew that I was going into labor. So the nurse examined me, and it turned out that I was 9 centimeters open, and she went outside to get my husband. And during that time, I got so nauseous by the pain, so I had to run to the bathroom, and yeah, my whole breakfast came up. So my first thought was, no, I have ruined it all. I have no food in my stomach, and I haven't slept all night. But when my husband and the nurse came back, I told her what happened, and she didn't seem worried at all. So that was good for me. I didn't feel worried either. Uh, so yeah, and she then examined me once more, and it turned out that I was 10 centimeters open, and she told us that we needed to get ready for labor. And from the moment we arrived to the hospital until our baby David was out, it took about 1.5 hours. So he came out pretty fast. And before labor, I had already decided that I didn't want to take any pain relief, but I was also open for it. But I don't think that there really was any time for me to get any pain relief. It all went so fast. I really think that watching videos of how to breathe during labor really helped me. So that's a real good tip, I think, because I think that it really helped me to feel that the pain was manageable. And when our baby came out, the nurse put him right on my chest, and I remember thinking, wow, the baby is real big. But don't get me wrong, he wasn't really that big. He weighed around 3,660 grams, so he was a normal size baby. But when you know that you just pushed him out, he feels very big. And then we waited for to cut the umbilical cord, and that I read a few days later that it's because we waited to cut the umbilical cord until it stopped pulsing, and that is because the baby won't get anemia, and it also studies have also shown that when the baby is about 4 years old, he will have better fine motor skills in his hands, and also have a better social skill with other people. So it's very important to not cutting the umbilical cord right away. And after that, the nurse worked on getting my placenta out. So she started to massage my belly pretty hard, but it didn't take many minutes before it was out. So yeah, and then I think the nurse checked how much damage it's been done down there, and it turned out that it was a few ruptures, and the doctor needed to stitch me up a little, but it was very normal for a woman that's been giving birth to her first child, so I wasn't that worried anyway. And then me and my husband had our first alone time with our baby, and that felt really amazing. And then the nurse came back inside, and she wanted me to check if I could be able to pee, and that was because so I could move to this other section that we in BB call that we in Sweden call BB. And in this section you can stay for a couple of days, and your baby gets some checkups, and you can get help with your breastfeeding. And there me and my husband and our baby, of course, stayed for about 24 hours, because we then felt like we had gotten all the information and our questions answered. So we felt kind of ready to get home. When we got home, we were both a little bit scared and excited, because now the new life will begin. But we got the real milk going at day 2, so it felt pretty good, because then the worry that the baby would be lose too much weight and be too tired to eat, it disappeared a little. Now it felt like he will get strong and big, so that felt really good. And yeah, I forgot to tell you that my water broke in the middle of labor, but otherwise I think I got everything. And yeah, I think that was about it, what I wanted to talk about in this video. In my next video I thought I would talk about breastfeeding a bit more, and yeah, I hope you found this video interesting, and hopefully I will see you in my next one.